Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices for Thursday, the 22nd of July, Thursday, and starting with the stock 50 here. So this is a tick chart. So from the COVID low here, we can update this here as wave 1 and 2 here. That's pretty clear. I don't think there's any discrepancy about that, and that means we're heading up for wave 3 up here. Okay, so yeah, this count is really quite simple, really. I don't see any problem with it, and I think it's probably where most markets around the world should be as well. So wave 2 here, we'll look at wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because the third wave in here, see how powerful it is? So it has to be the center. So everything feels right here. So wave 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the third wave, fourth wave, and fifth wave for wave 3. So there's no change in that for the stock 50. We just haven't looked on the tick chart before. Now with the stock 50 here, in most of the counts with the DAX, we've got wave A here with an A and a B and a C. You could put it over here as well. I was just sort of looking to see how it feels and study that for a little bit, but no biggie. We were looking for the move down through here. I thought on the DAX would have one more little low, but that wasn't the case. So that means that we need to put this B wave over to this side on that high rather than that high. So opposite to the cash market. So the next question is that, well, is wave 4 finished? Is it going to get any sort of uglier? Is this going to be over here somewhere? We put wave C over here and all this just becomes the A wave here and we go for a B wave up here. Well, sure, that's all possible. So we just need to be a bit careful about that. And one of the things we can do to mitigate that risk a little bit is really understand this first move up here. We'd want to see that if it's going to be bullish, we'd want to see it as an impulse wave, and as wave 1 and then wave 2 here. So you could imagine that we would need 5 waves there. If we get 5 waves there, that will confirm that after an ABC correction, we'll get another 5. So that means our setup will be on this level here on the 4,000. So I need to just put that on 4,000 there. I don't know why that slipped off. But anyway, we'll just work the levels. That's better balance point here for all of this. So yeah, let's understand this. But we can do that on the DAX chart, but we could also do it here as well. So let's just do it here. I think it looks a little bit neater here, actually, to be honest. But so let's do some counting together, shall we? So we would look, obviously, we could look at this as 1 and 2, and 3 and 4 and 5 here for wave 1. That makes sense, doesn't it? And this ABC for wave 2 here, and the fact that it's pulled down so low, so it's pulled down to the 50-60% retracement level, or even probably further actually. But yeah, it makes a reasonable case, well, quite a good case actually, for wave 1 and wave 2 here. And then we can see this building here, so we could see that it kind of looks like 5 waves in here, doesn't it? Do you know, it may or may not be finished here, but that would be the skeleton of it at this point in time. So we could put, without going into it we could put wave 3, 4, and 5 here. And then over here, of course, we'll be looking for the A, the B, and the C wave here. And if we can identify this as being 5 waves up, then, as I mentioned before, then that would give us the confidence to buy a pullback, because if this is 5 waves and we can count it reasonably clear, that means that we would look for, and this will be the same for the DAX and the FTSE as well, by the way. So I'll do it here. We've got to do it on one of them at least. So we'll find that top of that 5th wave, wherever that may be, and we'll be looking for an A and a B and a C wave into this 50-60% retracement sort of area here. We'll adjust that a little bit later, and it'll be fantastic if it does drop back below the 4,000. That makes life so much easier. So that would be a bounce off the 4,000. That would be the B wave, and that would be the C. So you could buy, if we can identify this as 5 waves here, that means we'd have confidence to buy in the box. If it looks a little bit scrappy and so on, we can't do it, then we will look for a classic trading levels pattern sitting on this level here, be something like that first high above the level. That's really the only thing you've got to recognize. If you're new to this, just look for that first high above the level. Now that may never be breached, but also save your ass as well, because it'll either get a B wave in, and if you're lucky enough to get the B wave in here, then you can look at this one here, because it's either going to be a B wave or it's going to be down for 1, back for 2, down for 3 here, and in this third wave down here there will be down for 1, back for 2, retesting that and dropping like this. Do you know what I mean? And then coming back up and testing it again here, 61.8%, then dropping again. So this idea is simple, but there's actually there's a bit more to it than meets the eye, but the point is it's simple and it's effective, so we use it. So getting support on this level, on the 4,000, is what we'd be looking for. Otherwise, if you can't figure all that out, and we've got 5 waves there, you can go long above the top, or you can go long above the B wave here. So basically building in in the beginning of the trend. So yeah. Anyway, I think we've got time to talk about this tomorrow, which will be perfect timing, because like if Thursday is going to be a bit bearish, then like Friday is going to be the bullish day, isn't it? You know, if we're going to slip into the bullish weekly cycle. So fingers crossed, but this is looking quite good. You know, it could just drop from here. Do you know what I mean? Then we're left with an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave to here. So that's possible. We don't. There's things that we don't know yet. But that's okay. We'll just allow it to play out. We've got a beautiful number to work with, and this pattern off the low is starting to look really good here. So that's that at this point, so we'll leave that. This is the DAX. So yes, I was expecting one more move down, but it's moved too high for the wave 4, because anything above here, anything above that, this level here would have been too high at that point. That's where we had it breached off. In fact, it could have gone long there, we talked about. But it doesn't really matter. What we want to do now is we want to consider this here. It's coming up to, let's just check on this, double check. So put that into there, and that's the 50-60% retracement level, a little bit higher. That's good. Glad I double checked it. That would have been just an estimate from yesterday or something. So get rid of those. We don't need that. We need that. So we know from looking at the stock 50 is that we've got wave 1, 2, and 3. So we could do the same here as well. So we won't go on to the intraday or anything. We'll just put wave 1 here and 2 here, and we'll chase this up tomorrow a little bit further. Wave 3, drop back for 4, and then up for 5 here to possibly, hopefully, fingers crossed analysis that we will be looking at wave 1 up here and then back for wave 2 here. We'll dress that up a little bit better later, but yeah, wave 4 and wave 5 here, putting the first high above the level at the 61.8% mark, and then having an A and a B and a C wave back here somewhere before moving higher. I don't know if that's the case, because we've only got 3 waves here. That could certainly pull back down into this space. So we have to wait for this to set up. I should have done it on the hourly chart, but it doesn't really matter. You'd kind of know what's going on. So the 500 here, we know, well, we can obviously see 500 is important. We know it's the second strongest number. We'll know this will be a beautiful place for a setup going forward. And the FTSE, yeah, that's behind this one. So I'll should be able to just drop that there without moving it too much. And And the same thing here as well. So we can look at this being wave 1 and 2 in here, and wave 3 here, and wave 4. And wave 5 pushing up there, and then dropping back down here, creating some kind of setup here. So we can only hope that we get this set up here, and that Friday this will all be Thursday bearish here, and Thursday afternoon tightening up, and then Friday moving up. Now, I don't know if that's the case, but if we finish this 5 waves off, if you can figure that out here, then so what we want to do is see a little bit more of a vibration across this level here, the 7,000 in this case, and then one more high, and then dropping back below. Then you'll know that you've got 5 waves there. Then we can move in on this one over here as 1 and 2 over here, the same as we talked about. So yeah, should be interesting little puzzle for everybody to watch unfold, with a carrot at the end of it, a nice trade setup here. And of course you can go back through this way as well. What I would do in this case is that if I could note 5 waves in this move here, then I would buy back into at the 61.8% here, but I wouldn't overdo it. Let's just say that 60, 50. I'm going to take it to 50, because that first high above the level will either be 30 or 50. So we could drop that down here a little bit further, just to make things a bit more realistic as such. That's cool. It's this price here that I'm looking for here. So that's basically buying down at 6,900. So I would be if I was doing it, I would be looking for 5 waves in this C wave here, because that will be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. I would look for 5 waves in that, and then I'd go in I'd buy a very small amount right on the turn, or as close to the 900 as possible. And then I would wait for my first little impulse wave to the upside, no matter how small. I'd go in and find that, and then I would look to add on top of that impulse wave there, keeping my stop under the current low here. So I'd have one position here, one breaking this one here, and then I would look to build in on top of the 7,000. So I'd have a couple of positions here. I might even have 4 to 6 positions in this space, and then I would be building on top of this. So for me, day trading, to have 20 or 30 positions, small positions, over a bit of, turf, bit of ground, that's just the way I like to build it, because it just gives me more options, more flexibility to manage the risk. But even having 3 positions gives you a chance to manage the risk better, because you can take 1 off and leave 2, or take 2 off and leave 1. But if you just got 1, well, it's all like do and die every single time. Do you know what I mean? It puts too much stress on. But yeah, anyway, enough waffling. That's kind of what we're looking for there on this one as well. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.